What up, Chipper Chaps? This is Chipper Chap Chat, episode 92.
92.
We are in the same room.
Yeah, how about that? Sorry about being late, by the way. This is we're like what, two weeks delayed.
Yeah, something like that. But it happens. We warned you guys ahead of time. Comic-Con time screws things up a little bit.
That's not Comic-Con yet either.
But you did some cons.
I did 2 conventions. I did the Amazing Con in Las Vegas, and I also did Anime Expo. So whoever stopped by, thank you.
Stay creamy. So thank you for joining us here. We did have some conventions, and we had a little bit of thing. I went to Vegas as well. I had a birthday, and also on my birthday, Spider-Man Homecoming came out.
And that's what this episode's about.
So we're gonna talk about that shit.
Yeah.
Also, welcome to Chipper Chap Con.
Yeah, we are. This is the Chipper Chap Con. How do you like it?
Yeah, it's great. There's Chamba,
Yeah.
and Fure's there.
There is what is that? A fan of some kind?
Yeah, there's a fan.
We have a fan.
Yeah, there's at least one fan.
We have one
showed
fan.
up.
So thank you, fan.
Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, Spider-Man happened.
So that's what we're gonna be talking about this episode. Spider-Man. We'll do the usual way. We won't really spoil anything the first 2 minutes. Usually lasts for non-spoiler. Usually lasts for about 2 minutes.
Not very long.
No. So let's begin with the non-spoiler.
Okay.
What can we talk about that's non-spoilery?
Oh, let's see. Spider-Man definitely.
He was in it.
There.
He was in it. We got Peter Parker.
The movie takes place after Civil War.
Correct.
A lot of that you can see in the trailer.
Yes. It is now part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
They definitely worked the character in well. I think a lot of people were curious if Tom Holland could carry a whole Spider-Man movie. I think he did.
Excellent.
You think he did?
Yes.
I think that they did a good job. All of pretty much everything that was in that movie,
Yeah.
I loved.
I enjoyed a lot of it.
A few very minor quibbles, but it was a great movie.
But non-spoiler, how many Chipper Chaps do you give it? Out of 5 Chipper Chaps.
Out of 5 Chipper
Chaps.
Chaps.
You want to go 5 or 10? What do you prefer?
Let's go 10.
All right. Out of 10 Chipper Chaps, how many Chipper Chaps do you give this?
I'm gonna give it like a 9.2 Chipper Chaps.
Ooh, that's a really good Chipper Chap. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Yeah, because it wasn't perfect.
8 or 9. No. Oh, it could have been though.
It could have been.
This film could have been perfect.
Really could have. Like,
it really
a few
yeah.
minor adjustments.
Yeah, absolutely. This could have been the perfect Spider-Man movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's hard to rate, like, especially rating in films in general. It's like, what's a perfect 10 film? It's like, it has to be a perfect 10 within the film in itself.
Right.
Right? It's hard to compare films against other films, but in the end, it's like, in terms of enjoyment and whatnot, everything factors in. But as a Spider-Man film, this could have been a perfect 10 Spider-Man film.
And it's weird, too, because the things that I feel like they messed up, they could have fixed.
Oh, easily.
And they wouldn't have had to recast anything.
No. It's all there still.
It's all there.
It's all there. Little tweaks that could have basically made this a 9 into an actual 10 Spider-Man film. And that's not saying that it's a bad. I mean, 9 out of 10 is pretty bloody good still.
For sure.
So that's a non-spoilers, guys.
Yeah.
We recommend it.
I do recommend it. We've seen it twice already. Do you think you'll want to see it one more time before it's out of the theater?
I do.
I think I might want to see it again. Maybe we'll go see it 4DX.
Hopefully,
experience.
Yeah, hopefully they're still showing that. Like when I get back from after all those conventions.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna leave. Well, I'm leaving Thursday, and I'll be back not next week, the week after on a Monday, I think it was. So hopefully, if they show it on the 4DX screens, we get to experience it like a ride.
Yeah, you get to shake around and have them spit at you and stuff.
If not that, maybe Valerian, if Valerian is good.
Yeah, but I definitely don't want to see it for my first experience on any movie.
No, not at all.
So we'll have to go back. I don't know if any of you guys have tried 4DX theaters, but it's weird. It's weird. That's all I can say. It's not bad, but it's definitely not your traditional movie-going experience for sure.
But it's an experience, no doubt.
So let's talk about the meat of it.
From this point, we're gonna talk spoilers. So if you haven't seen the film already, stop here, go watch the film, come back and join us in this conversation because we might bring up points that you probably recognize or didn't. Maybe?
Okay.
I don't know.
So let's start with Peter himself.
Peter.
Yeah. How do you feel like they handled Peter? And
Great.
feel free to talk about whatever. But as far as their casting and whatnot, how do you
He's
feel
spot
like
on. Like.
we really should have.
We really should have. Yeah,
fucking
we should
episode.
have.
I'm telling you.
We should have.
We recorded an episode a long time ago of like what we wanted out of the new Spider-Man. And I wanted to go back and listen and see how much stuff they.
What we
shredded
could
on.
do, maybe, because I plan on hopefully doing another episode before I boot this week. Could listen to that episode and maybe bring up those points in the next recording.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, because that one's going to be a live episode, hopefully.
Yeah,
and we'll sort things out there. But Peter was great. He was. He felt the youth was there. He felt like he wasn't already a superhero yet. He had abilities. He is Spider-Man technically, but he's the Spider-Man that
you can tell it's a Spider-Man who this is his first year,
right? And it makes sense.
They said he was Spider-Man for 6 months before Civil War, and this is 2 months after Civil War. So he's only been Spider-Man for 8 months,
essentially,
at the beginning of this
and it
movie.
feels like it.
Yeah, it feels like
it, and it's kind of what we needed. Like, I'm sure it'll eventually go to a point where we've got Spider-Man in the same ranks as, or even like leading the crew at this point, but. Not this fresh face one right now.
Right.
We needed this one. And if their goal was to do the whole Harry Potter type universe thing where it's like, we're going to build up the character.
Right.
This is a perfect start.
It totally is. With the minor exceptions of, I feel like the 3 love interests had some things they could have swapped around. So, granted, we said we're talking spoilers.
So we're going to be spoiling some. And honestly, at this point, I don't know about you, but these are my niggles.
Yeah, these are the only things that really bothered me at all. And I feel like it's because they're easily fixable problems. And it seems like something happened maybe in the editing. In the post process that made them make some last minute calls or something. Because first thing is if you see in the movie, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
there's a girl who is clearly Gwen Stacy, who they've just called Betty Brant for some reason.
No one says her name at all in the film.
Yeah, no one says her name except for the TV monitor at the top of the screen.
And you know for a fact, they recorded people saying her name. You have to.
Yeah, you
can't have a character in a film and no one ever says their name.
Right, and she's in multiple scenes, and they make a point that she always has that black headband on,
which is
so that you know that she's
a Gwen Stacy thing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it's not like the people who make Spider-Man forgot what Gwen Stacy looks like.
Also, it's like if somebody says, "Oh, that's just kind of she's Betty,"
right?
But we wanted to incorporate some nice Easter egg to another character. Why would you do it with that one?
But it's just super random. It's like we're decided that Jubilee looks like Rogue now. We still call her Jubilee, but she looks like Rogue. She's got the white hair. She wears Rogue's 90s outfit, but she's got Jubilee's power.
Because technically Rogue took Jubilee's place in the X-Men movies, but it was still fully Rogue.
Yeah, but
how about if she actually had big hoop earrings, the yellow? Yeah.
When they literally swap what they look like, but everything else is the same.
Don't do that.
It's just a weird call. So I think that maybe they panicked about saying that's Gwen Stacy, because then that commits that storyline to that actress, and who knows if they want to keep that. But I feel like they just should have. If they were going to do the Harry Potter thing, they should have just committed.
Because you build the world. I mean, it's nice to, it's Betty. We know Betty Brant's in this world. She's a part of the Spider-Man universe in general. But wouldn't it be that much cooler if that was actually still
right? Or if you wanted Betty Brant, make her look like Betty Brant's supposed to look like, and don't make her look like Gwen Stacy.
Because now it's confusing.
Yeah.
And next point of this confusing thing, we have Michelle.
The Michelle character, which I thought she was fine. She was clearly supposed to be Ali Sheedy's character from Breakfast Club.
Fully.
Which is totally,
I love it.
Which is totally
love
fine.
It. Yes.
But to drop the MJ thing at the very end,
that annoyed me.
Yeah, because it served no purpose.
It annoyed me because
she's Michelle Jones. That's what makes her MJ.
Right.
And they've said, Amy Pascal and Feige said, that doesn't necessarily mean that Mary Jane doesn't exist and she won't show up.
Mind you, now, if she ever shows up, we can't refer to her as MJ.
Yeah, or, you know.
She's now known as Mary Jane, which is fine because that's her name. But then it's almost like, why bother with this Michelle Jones MJ if we're eventually still going to get Mary Jane Watson?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Why not just have this one be Mary Jane Watson? I'm fine with this.
Right. If she was Mary Jane Watson and you want to have her be Ali Sheedy and eventually do the, like, you face it tiger, you just hit the pot and then
we do the whole
we
do the whole she's all that.
Right. If you want to eventually lead to that, and that's what the point of calling her MJ is, then that's fine. But just make her Mary Jane then. Why Michelle Jones?
Not Michelle Jones, because it seems
just so it was set up just so there could be a twist, and that's
but it's not a. But see, I like twists if they're good. This is not even a good twist.
It serves nothing.
No, it doesn't do anything for anybody.
And so it just makes it a shame because they got Peter so right.
Oh, he's perfect.
And then they
kind of dropped the ball.
Dropped the ball on the female characters.
I think they had the balls.
Mm-hmm.
They were afraid and they fumbled.
Right.
Like they rearranged it. And
because I thought Liz Allen as her character, she was fine.
Because the only part that really bothered me with Liz Allen character
is the Tombs.
So
again, spoilers. Seriously, we're talking about all the twists.
You really shouldn't be watching this if you've not seen the film yet.
Right. So they do the whole thing where she's the daughter of Tombs, which was a great. It was great in the movie.
No,
it was fantastic.
The twist is great because really no one saw it.
Right.
But it just felt a little bizarre.
It felt bizarre only because they were alluding that it was supposed to be the MJ character.
The Michelle.
Because they started the movie with him being like, look at her drawing. Isn't it great? Like, she's pretty good, right? And then they show Michelle drawing throughout the whole movie.
Film.
And you're like, and okay, so they picked Zendaya, who's like very clearly also supposed to be like a mixed race character, because I very much feel like the original twist is supposed to be that she was the daughter of Toombs. She was Michelle Toombs.
Because it never revealed her surname in the film whatsoever.
No, so I really feel like all the backlash from people being like, she's not my fucking MJ, made them go, what? You know what?
She's MJ.
She is MJ. How about that?
MJ
She's
now.
not Mary Jane just in case Mary Jane shows up, but we're going to call her MJ because screw you guys who said we can't have a
But also now we kind of ruin it for ourselves because we can't call actual Mary Jane MJ because then we'll have two MJs and that's really confusing.
Yeah, it's just it was bizarre like choices at the end. Like that felt like
it felt like a fumble.
Yeah, that felt like a fumble behind the scenes. But because otherwise everything is great. Now how they fit in the story still is great. It's just like stop fucking around with the names and stuff for no reason. Like, what purpose is that?
No, it doesn't really do much for it.
But how the characters themselves, how Michelle fit into the story, she was fine. How Liz fit into the story, she was fine. How the Betty Brant Gwen fit in, she was fine. She's just a background character, just like in the Harry Potter universe. Right. You have like the Nevilles or whatever.
All the other guys, everybody else.
They're all just there. That's what the movie was supposed to be. That's why you were supposed to have Gwen Stacy just in the background,
and we'll see more of them in the sequels, which is perfect because we've established these characters there. Branch out once we get the sequels,
right? And
it just feels a little weird that they just you were so close, you didn't go all the way.
And it's weird too because now if they bring in Mary Jane,
you can't call MJ.
It's weird because of MJ.
Yeah, you can't call MJ. But also,
if you bring in a Gwen Stacy, then why does she look exactly like Betty Brant? Why are they rocking this?
That's the weird. Like we can't put it this way. At this point, when we get the actual, if we get a real Gwen Stacy,
right? If we get one,
either Betty's gonna have to change her appearance completely,
right?
Or Gwen Stacy can't look like what we know Gwen Stacy to look like.
Right. Which, again, then it's like,
why?
Why make the other girl look like Gwen Stacy?
How about if they end up giving... How about if they
don't do Gwen Stacy?
How about if they end up giving the Gwen Stacy role to Betty Brant? They essentially rejiggle the whole thing. So we're going to get the Gwen Stacy story through Betty Brant.
But then what is the point of calling her something else? Just because
you're you wanted to have another name in there.
Afraid?
Yeah,
like,
because you wanted another name in there.
Yeah, it's just bizarre. Yeah.
So like, because Andrew Garfield one, they already got their Gwen Stacy. We're going to do the Gwen Stacy, but we're going to name her Betty Brant instead.
Do you think they were just like, if we call her Gwen Stacy, then people are going to be focusing too much on those two are going to end up together?
Yep.
So that's why they chose
That's why this Michelle is not Mary Jane, but it's Michelle MJ.
Right.
That, honestly, this seems like the way they would be thinking.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it sounds ridiculous to us because it's almost like we're not stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, this is still Peter Parker, yet he looks nothing like Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire. But we can accept this guy as Peter Parker.
Because
cool. But we can't accept those other two because that's too weird.
Yeah, that's the... I don't know. It's just bizarre. But anywho, now that that's out of the way...
Yeah. Which is the negative, my negatives, our negatives throughout these films.
It's pretty much the only negative I have.
Yeah, but it doesn't ruin the whole story.
Other than one thing,
what else?
Is there's a timeline issue at the beginning of the movie.
Oh yeah.
When they first show the scene of them digging through the rubble at Avengers, after the Battle of New York, where the aliens are coming down. They say 8 years later when they cut to the now story of what.
So does this film take place 2020?
Right, which is.
Or does the Avengers movie that came out in 2012 was that actually based in
2010? So they're saying like something is off there because when they show it in TV, they say it's in 2012. They say it happened in May 2012.
So are we actually watching a film that takes place in 2020?
That's what I'm thinking. The only thing that makes sense is if the Avengers battle was in 2010, but all the shows have been getting it wrong.
That has to be the case.
Because they I don't think they've ever said the year in the movies. They've only said it in the shows when they reference it. But
that has to be the case.
That's odd, though.
It's bizarre, but what are you going to do? It's hard to juggle this gigantic monster that they've created.
Right.
So.
But then just like... Why put it 8 years later? Why not just put present day or something
right,
like
because
that?
It seems like Guardians got things right.
Right.
Guardians 2, when they do their numbers.
But Guardians also, they said the Guardians 2 is like 2 months after the first Guardians.
It's like 2-3 months,
But I think people probably don't even really notice that.
They don't.
They're not thinking about that shit.
Because it's not as relevant, I don't think, the actual timeline.
I think it'll only be relevant when we get to Infinity War.
Right. And they're like 4 years ahead. And they're
like,
what the hell happened to these guys?
Because we're not...
Where's his arm?
We're not going to get Baby Groot.
No, he's
even teenage Groot.
He might be fully grown,
right. He's
like monstrous
crazy,
Groot at this point.
Some big ass.
I'm so excited. I can't believe they're doing this.
So anyway, back to Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was excellent.
The high school stuff was handled perfectly.
Finally, we got an actual high school feeling like high school, man.
I like that they gave each of his teachers characters and things like that. Martin Starr was great as their decathlon coach.
Yep. He's their brainy teacher.
Right. The chick from Orange is the New Black was his
science teacher,
chemistry teacher, and she was great. The scene where Genki is at the homecoming thing and
still the best.
He's guy in the chair.
Yeah, he's guy in the chair.
She comes up there and she's like, "This is a dance. What are you doing up here?" He's like, "I'm looking at porn."
Best.
That shit was so funny, dude.
Best.
Just the complete failure
great.
to cover yourself up. Yeah, Genki Ned.
Genki
Ned was great. He's another one where like I kind of get why they didn't call him Genki if they have plans to do a Miles movie. But he is Genki. There's nothing about that character that is not Genki. He is fully that character. They just gave him the Hobgoblin's name.
Again, that's what I'm saying. It's like, are they just jumbling the names up here?
Like
this is what we're doing.
I feel like somebody on the Marvel side was like, you need to do it like Harry Potter, where you just put them all there. And then Sony was like, well, just put these names. Doesn't matter how they fit in.
Yeah.
We all know they're just new characters. Nobody knows who the fuck Hobgoblin is,
except the real the fans.
Yeah, except for the nerds
confusing.
that look it up, and then you get a bunch of Wikipedia shit about it, and then everybody posts videos about it. But if they get to a Hobgoblin thing with that character, it would be odd. I just don't see it happening.
Not at all, unless it's like his old man or something.
Right, or he builds like a drone Hobgoblin and it's not him.
He's still
he's still guy in the chair
because it's like Tony Stark when he mans his Iron Man suits. Mobile. That's interesting. Like that's I don't want that. Though.
What did you think of this version of Flash?
I don't see him taking the Venom.
Clearly not gonna happen because Venom's not even gonna be connected.
Well, no. Yeah. Flash is Flash. It's not the best Flash, but it's also not as annoying.
He's not the jock Flash that we would.
I wish he was actually funny.
that he was funny.
Something.
But I feel like if he was funny, then it would be harder to dislike him.
I guess. He just seemed like an annoying idiot.
Yeah, that's what he's supposed to be. That's their version of a bully. He's like a in real life internet troll.
Okay, cool. He's that then. You got that down.
You called him Penis Parker a lot.
He never really showed why he didn't like Peter. That's not important, I guess.
I guess he was maybe jealous.
Because he was smarter.
Because he was smarter, but not as rich as him.
Right, because Peter wasn't rich.
Right, it's like, you don't deserve to be smarter than me.
Right.
Look at my car.
I'm the leak guy.
I'm driving an Audi.
Well, that's his dad's car.
Yeah, but, you know, that didn't work out.
No.
What did you think of the villain? Because we were pretty excited to have Michael Keaton join the MCU.
I like it. I like that he, again, spoilers. If you're watching this, you should have obviously seen this. He didn't die in the end, and that's great, because then he's still alive.
Yeah.
I like that we got basically 2 shockers.
We did get 2
which
shockers.
is neat, because I'm like, again, like you brought this up a while before when we were talking. It's like, no, this film, this and many other films obviously shows that you can have more than one villain and still be an excellent film.
Right, which a lot of people were blaming that on.
You don't blame a film with a film that's like, say it's bad because of multiple villains.
And notice nobody has been bringing that shit up.
Oh, because they did it well.
Yeah, but see, on the other side, on Sony, when they had, like, you have 3 villains in one movie.
Yeah, it sucks. It's like, no, because they didn't do it well.
Right.
It's that simple.
But
if you do it well...
In this one, we had the Tinkerer, we had Vulture, we had 2 Shockers, we had Scorpion.
You had Scorpion, you had Prowler.
You had Prowler.
You had Prowler, who wasn't obviously... But see, the key to that, I feel that, was you don't make them, like, a primary villain. But
they tried that in Amazing as well.
But that's what I'm...
Smythe.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Like they tried doing that shit. It didn't feel like natural at all. It felt like, and this is where you insert a name, and this is where you insert a name.
Because I mean, like the last Spider-Man film, Amazing 2.
Yeah.
We had Goblin. We had Electro. We had Rhino.
You had Rhino.
He was kind of a random throwaway.
And then in the bottom, they alluded to
Vulture,
Doc
Ock, because they're all manned by the same guy. See, I like this whole idea where it's the Tinkerer selling weapons.
Right.
That's cool because...
But see, we also don't know that he will have any direct connection to the other guys.
It's neat that you're already incorporating, that you can incorporate the alien technology into your shit. That already opens it up, so it's like anybody can have these things.
Yeah. With
the right mind and the right like, could you imagine if they do Harry Osborn in this thing?
I don't think they're gonna, man.
I'm saying if they do into the universe, into this Marvel universe, if he was obviously smart, which he should be as a character, as the character that he is, have access, black market access to some of the technology as well, he can be essentially doing what the Tinkerer is doing, but at a higher level in a sense, because he'll have the funding for more shit. So he could be the opposite to what Tony's doing with Iron Man, if they wanted to. Which I don't. Again, it'll probably elevate the Spider-Man villain higher. But then again, his villains are probably going to get stronger and stronger as he gets. To, yeah, absolutely. Because, like right now, it's very street level, which is great.
When Peter starts, he's street level, but mid-movie, once he's unlocked the training wheels protocol, he's got all kinds of different webbing ties.
What do you feel about the whole unlocking the potential of the suit? Do you think it's too reliant on the suit? Do you think he's just utilizing the tools that he has available? Is it more like a Batman at this point?
But Spider-Man is that to some degree.
I agree.
I don't think that we've ever seen that in the movies.
No.
But in the comics, he is that. He does make tracer spiders and all kinds of tech things to fight his villains, and he does have gadgets and web grenades and shit like that.
I think the difference though is that in the comics he makes them.
It's true, and
whereas here it's something that Stark did for the suit.
For sure. Does
that take it away a little bit or not?
I think to some degree it does, but I don't think it completely removes it, because one, they still show Peter developing his own web fluid.
Right. That's true.
They still show that he created these web shooters that he made himself.
Also,
And so the things that Tony added to it based on what Peter started with, I think shows Peter the potential of what he can do.
Right.
So
rather than, it's like, I can do these things.
So like, okay, realistically, we're diverting way off the movie.
That's fine. Because this is all still stemmed from the film.
Because they're saying the sequel to Spider-Man
Right.
is supposed to start Phase 4.
Okay.
I think there is a high likelihood
No more Stark.
we lose Stark in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Even if it's temporarily.
That's fine.
Because
he has no memento.
Because I think if we lose Stark in Infinity War 1, and in the second one they bring him back, but he's like, okay, you've helped me defeat death basically by bringing me back, but I'm retiring now. I'm good.
Done. Yeah, like this, I finally have a chance to just live.
Right.
I'm gonna do that instead.
And just let
you guys are good. You got Strange with you now.
Right.
You got Spidey. You got who's a genius.
Right.
You've got technology. My technology will always be there, but
Right.
you've got all these other guys to do all that stuff. I'm good. I'm gonna go live with Pepper.
Right. I think they could easily do that. But
they should probably.
So if that's the case, and in the second movie he has no Stark, then that gives him the opportunity to start developing his own stuff, and his suit will have to kind of be like a hybrid of what Stark gave him, and maybe his own thing.
Well, I mean, like with the whole eye thing, because technically the reason why his homemade suit is a homemade suit like that is because he has no money.
Right.
But if he had money, and he's not an idiot, he's smart, he could develop something for himself without even just because he has access to a better facility. Could you imagine what he could make?
Right.
That'd be nuts.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential in that. It's a shame that they're feeling the need to do the give Black Cat her own movie with Sable kind of stuff, but
that's Sony wanting money
for sure. But I'd love to see a character like Black Cat show up in a Spider-Man movie in the MCU, because we've never gotten that. They've teased that in the games based on the movies for years. Like Amazing Spider-Man 2's game, the one that's tied into the movie.
The one with the proper rhino?
She shows up, yeah.
Is that with the proper,
the first one?
The first one has a proper rhino where it's like an animal-based thing, which is
right.
cool!
Right, it was cool.
Because also the concept sounded like, that makes way more sense than a Russian dude in a bloody robotic suit.
See, because in the second movie, the Oscorp people were all robotics for some reason.
Right.
First movie, it was all genetics because of the lizard. So
that's cool.
Lizard turns into a lizard, Rhino turns into a rhino, that kind of thing.
That's cooler to me.
It is cooler, but they just decided not to be as dark. And if you go to mutations versus robotics, then it's automatically body horror.
Yeah. I go, it's whatever.
Yeah, it's just them going. Maybe let's not do Spider-Man Begins.
Right, and honestly, this is a good. It's just.
Although I wonder if Amazing got its proper sequel. Instead of them going let's make it more like the Raimi ones, turned up to 11, which is basically what they did. I think they could have kept it at the Batman Begins type of tone, because if you go in order, that means Spider-Man's next one is the Dark Knight. If you go the Dark Knight, then you got to go in, and the villain is still Goblin, and he just made it dark still.
Goblin,
that could have been real sick.
Get a true Goblin.
But instead they went panic mode. But anyway,
they shouldn't panic. This direction though, I like it. It's just a shame that whatever these Spidey spin-offs, they're linked to Spidey but not linked to the Marvel, right? How do you do that?
I don't know, because see, in this movie they did set up some Sinister Six potential stuff, because one, they had the people throughout that work for the Tinkerer, the Shocker, and that have all these weapons they've been developing. And then at the end of the movie, they have the tease of the guy that was on the boat, Matt Gargan. He's the Scorpion.
So
his arm is all fucked up, so he's probably going to have some kind of crazy scorpion tail thing.
I think it's cool. Yeah, that's like a whip.
Right. And that could be interesting. But he also says, I know some guys on the outside that want him dead as well. We could do this kind of thing. So if they're setting up a Sinister Six thing, it makes me wonder what they're going to fill the rest of that six with. Because they've still got Shocker. That's easily one. They've still got Vulture.
You could do Mysterio.
You got Scorpion. They could do Mysterio, but then you're going to be like, he's a movie effects guy, but we got him in the Sinister Six. I feel like it's too much backstory to try and involve.
It could be incorporating some of the...
I feel like characters like Rhino, where they're like, I'm a criminal and I got a big rhino thing.
Hydra Man?
That's way easier. Hydra Man. They've not done that. That'd be a playoff of the Sandman thing without doing Sandman.
That's what I'm saying. Because essentially it's the same.
Because I really feel like that's the way to go. Because right now, we saw the Vulture, but the Vulture was easily could have worked as an Osborn type of thing.
Like it worked as
now the scene where Peter goes and they have the twist of Toomes is her dad.
Could have been Osborn.
My favorite scene in the whole thing. But the how they played off of
that was so good.
With
the acting was so good between
Tom
them
Holland's
two.
acting there and Michael Keaton's acting was so on point.
And that's
to
the thing.
each other.
If you can go head to head with Keaton and hold yourself, you're pretty good.
And I don't remember what episode we talked about it in, but you asked me if they did Spider-Man in the 80s, what our perfect casting would be.
You said,
and I said Michael J. Fox.
And he was Michael J. Fox.
And this kid, if he wasn't Marty McFly,
if they do a Back to the Future remake and he either said Tom Holland as Marty McFly, I'd be like, of course he is.
Down to even the concept of how he puts the suit on. It's the lace-up sneakers. It's the form-fitting jacket.
Yep, everything. The guys who wrote this. They did a really good job.
They did, but it was like 6 of those motherfuckers.
I know.
Originally, it was just supposed to be
And
John Francis
I think,
Daly.
I think what happened was they wrote the initial thing. Those other 4 came in to do the tweaks.
And matter of fact, it has to have had some sort of change.
Absolutely.
Because when production first started, I remember the first shit we saw was building stuff for Toombs's like science company or whatever, where he was going to be more like an Oscorp figure. And that's when we first started talking about maybe Zendaya was his daughter.
Because no reveal of surname, why would you hide it?
Exactly.
But also, I think the other people in the writing team were rewrites.
Right.
They just built on top of the core. That's why I'm watching the film the second time. I was like, watching the film, enjoying the film, but I'm like, I know for a fact that there was a lot of scenes in the cutting room floor where a lot of these other background females had a lot more speaking roles.
I think that they filmed a lot because I know Tom Holland and Jacob, I can't remember his last name, the guy that plays Ned.
Along or something.
Yeah. They said that their original scene where he is in the bedroom and Peter comes home and he catches him in the suit, he said they filmed a whole bunch of takes of that. He said one of the takes was 26 minutes of just them going off of each other. So I think that they filmed a lot of stuff and they just kind of pieced it together to make the movie they wanted.
I'm curious about the reshoots too, though.
Me too.
Because
Me too.
The reshoots could be where all the things that we see in this film that could have been recorded then, like the whole Toomes being Liz Allen's old man rather than Michelle's old man. That could have been part of that. Because you don't really need much to think. It's like, if that was still part of the plot where it's still a mystery, it's like, instead of... Like, do you remember all those scenes all those shots that we saw behind the scenes of
saving
him,
all the girls?
Yeah. Where did that go? Because when I was watching the film, I'm like, when did all those take place? Because he was holding multiple women.
That's why I think that there was something else that was supposed to happen.
Absolutely.
Like, he was supposed to show up at the homecoming dance.
Absolutely. But in his actual proper gear, not his... And mind you, the film that we got in the end, I still like it.
Right.
But I'm really curious about what that initial film was going to be.
Right.
We're never going to get that. And we might get aspects of those in the sequels. Because that's what happens sometimes. Like, we couldn't do it for this one, so we're going to... We managed to incorporate it for this one. Like, it works better in the sequel.
Yeah, I really want to know what that shit was, though, because they had that whole sequence of him saving
Remember
girls
all those shots.
And so I was like, I wonder if he's like snatching girls up and dropping them from hella high, and he's
or saving them from wherever building and whatnot. Because I was like, no, I'm pretty sure we saw Ye in this dress, blah blah blah. But again, that's not the film that we got. So all these questions won't
anyway,
be answered.
That's why I'm telling you, man. I want a candid conversation with Kevin Feige. Just let me ask him all the things.
As much as cool as that would be, I'd love to be just an observer during filming.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like just someone who's there.
Just let me see all the versions of the script there.
Because then it's like, oh snap! Because like in the very end, like what the film that we got is the film that we got. I'm not going to contribute to how it was made in the end, but if we got to see all the things that were recorded and be like, oh, okay, we could have gotten that film instead. Could have gotten that film instead, but we got this one, which is good. Very good film. But like that one would have been interesting. But I see why they didn't do that one and stuff like that. But who knows?
So anyway, I feel like even that being said, that we know that a lot of stuff was taken out, a lot of stuff was changed. The movie that they put together was still so much fun, dude.
It was really good.
Because it really felt like the ultimate version of the comics. Like,
I wasn't an Ultimate reader, so I'm not even
but
like
if any of you guys were not readers of the Ultimate comics, I do advise picking some of them up and just checking them out, because they're, to me, the epitome of what Spider-Man can be in comics.
Because they got the whole history of Spider-Man, basically condensed it in this thing, presented it in a neat little
and slightly
package.
modernized. Notice, still no J. Jonah Jameson, still no Daily Bugle, but
cool. Oh, cool. He's in high school. You don't need that shit.
yeah,
Yet.
but you know, when he goes out and maybe has to have a job because he doesn't have Stark's paycheck, maybe he'll look into the Bugle. But I also think, I really feel like their goal with these new Spider-Man films is just not to do the shit we've seen.
And I'm fine.
So we might not ever get a Green Goblin.
We might never get Jake Jonah.
We might never get a Mary Jane or a Gwen Stacy.
No.
That's maybe why, partially why also, that their
Why it's
names were
Betty?
changed.
Why it's Betty Brant?
Right.
And why it's MJ and Michelle
Jones. So, you know, all that stuff put together, I loved the movie, man. The tone of it was great. It was super funny. The little Jennifer Connelly as his AI
Karen.
nod.
Great.
That was
Great
great.
nod. She sounds great.
She
too.
was great in the movie as
Yeah.
well. Her AI character
Mhm.
was great. But the nod of,
the kill mode.
you know, Jennifer Connelly being the wife of Paul Bettany.
Paul
Bettany was Jarvis, the voice of Iron Man.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's
very
a nice little nod. Plus, you know, she was Betty.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
the
so it's
Ang
like,
Lee Hulk.
There's
So
an affiliation.
she's still
yeah,
Marvel.
She's still
family.
Marvel, but now she's fully Marvel. Like
Yeah.
she's new Marvel family.
Maybe
now.
they'll bring her on as Vision's wife, because you know he gets the robot wife.
I'm down with that too. I'm down with it. Whatever, man.
She can
Jennifer
compete.
Connelly's dope. She's cool.
Or they could have her come back as the girl Voltron or Ultron. when they did
Oh, that would be mean.
that would be wicked.
Wow. Okay, I didn't even see. I wasn't even thinking about that. But
Hey, I wasn't thinking about Jarvis being Vision when Jarvis came
That's
out.
true. I don't
You
think
just
anyone did.
never know.
yeah, I don't think. Yeah, that's right.
You never
we
know
don't
where
know
any
with
of that
this.
shit could go.
But like, oh, guess what? Remember that thing from a couple years back? Like
Yeah.
how they did the whole that kid in Iron Man 2? That was Peter.
Right? Yeah.
And I was like, that's because they could.
they,
Timeline wise, they were like, it works, whatever. That was Peter.
right? Sure.
And you're like, sure, it wasn't Tom Holland, but it's like that character Peter Parker. That was him as a little kid, being little Iron Man.
Yeah.
Now he's Spider-Man.
Why not?
Cause you can. Marvel Universe can do this.
Yeah.
This is their universe. They do what they want.
Sure. Why not, man? That's how I feel.
It's like, you see, remember that little shadow in that film? That was Blackheart. Bam!
Bam.
They could
did
do
it.
that if they wanted to. That was Venom. You did
Mhm.
not even know that.
Well, you saw how at the beginning of the movie they made it look like we saw the Civil War scenes from
Love it. That was
Spider-Man's
funny.
perspective.
Filmed by
That was
Peter
all.
Parker.
That was
Yep.
that entire scene was CG. They could do that in tons of other
Mhm.
movies and just make it look like some characters were there.
That's fine. That's nuts, dude. I think is it abuse of power, or is it just like we're doing it for good?
They're doing comics in live action. That's all it is.
You
they're
think it's
doing
gonna
super expensive
implode
comics.
eventually?
After Infinity War, I have no idea what happens.
Because honestly, at this point, I think Infinity War seems
After
seems
whatever the
like-
second Infinity War is.
right, but just this first Infinity War in
Yeah.
general,
Mm-hmm.
it feels like it's a monster you cannot tame.
For sure. I feel like people are probably going to be disappointed because it's not going to be what they expected.
But those people that feel that it won't meet their expectations, they probably don't even know what to expect in
Right.
general. Like
Mhm.
they don't even have a bar set in their head. They just know it's super high.
Right. It's
You know,
it's
that's
the
what
best. It's got to
right.
be the best.
It's
thing.
got to be the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and it's
Right.
not going to meet that. So automatically, it's shit.
Right.
Because that's the rules
That's
of
what
the
happened
internet
with
these
Age of
days.
Ultron.
Absolutely, it's like, oh, this film isn't fucking super fantastic.
Right.
It's shit.
Yeah. It's shit.
That's the
house.
rule. There's no middle ground.
It didn't
by the
make
way.
me feel like Avengers 1
right.
made me feel.
No.
So it's garbage.
I wasn't constantly being. Nah, it wasn't as good.
Right.
Wasn't as good. So because of that,
Well, what are you gonna do?
there's no middle ground.
Yeah.
And now at this point, like right now, if being us, like, oh, what do you expect of So well, I don't bloody know. I really don't bloody know. I know I'm watching them.
Yeah.
I know that much. I know we're gonna get all these characters in there. I have no idea what's gonna happen.
I know,
but I like that.
Entirely filmed in IMAX.
Yeah, which is nuts to me. So it's a square. We're watching a square.
And I very much feel like we're going to be watching a movie about the stones being gathered, because we have seen none of that.
And him destroying everything.
Yeah, so I feel like we're gonna watch him show up in basically each little pocket universe that they've made, and Thanos is gonna beat the shit out of whoever has the stone, take the stone, go on to the next person, and we're just gonna watch that until the end of the movie where we don't defeat him.
Or it's like, what just happened?
Yeah, because I don't know what.
We're not defeating him.
Because I don't know, but how did they go the pause? Like,
that was my biggest question, right? If you don't defeat him in the end, what the heck kind of ending is that? And what happens to the films afterwards?
Right, I wonder if we stop him from completing the gauntlet.
Right, but everything is just... Because if you say the next film after that is Spider-Man,
right,
that has to pick up where this thing leaves off.
Right.
So he's going to go back to school one day and school's trashed because the world is half destroyed. Or... are they going to
Spider-Man 2
are they containing
after this one, or is it after Infinity War 2, whatever that one?
Oh, I don't even know. Is
I
that
think
when
it's
Phase
after
4
that.
starts?
I think it's after the second one.
All right. Well, whatever in between films.
Yeah.
I'm still curious how those even take place. Because what comes first? Is it Infinity War, or is it Black Panther? We get
Black Panther tomorrow, or not tomorrow. We get Black
Panther.
We get Black Panther
What
February
tickets?
next year.
All right, that's before though, right?
Yeah, because it's this.
Is the first one
November
after that Captain
May.
Marvel?
Captain Marvel is after Infinity
It's the
War.
first one after Infinity War. They haven't started filming that one yet.
I don't think so.
So that one's basically gonna pick up the pieces of what the destruction. Crazy.
But I mean, as far as we know, Captain Marvel. Well, they said Sam Jackson is going to be on it, so it's got to be on Earth somewhat. But it could be like a mostly space thing, like fucking Green Lantern.
They do a Green Lantern better than Green Lantern.
Oh, at this point, it wouldn't be too hard.
I saw this thing online, unrelated to this Infinity War thing. You know, Stark sold Avengers Tower. Someone had drawn 4 on it, and it becomes the 4.
That would be kick-ass.
I was like, oh shit, that would be the titties.
I'm glad you brought it up, because that's not what I thought. I wasn't thinking Baxter Building.
Right.
That would be fucking rad.
Right?
But I was thinking off the top that it would be interesting if Oscorp
that's even... See, to me, that's as cool.
Yeah. But, you know, it'd be cool because then if you have Norman Osborn as an MCU villain, you have so much more potential. He could literally actually take the Iron Patriot armor.
I know, that's why. He could do so much.
He would be wicked. But if it was the Baxter Building and they have a big 4 instead of A, that'd be rad.
I know, because I'd be like, oh shit,
I wouldn't be mad
I would
at
not
that
complain. No, I'll be like, all right, if this is what you're doing...
Let's put it this way. We know that building got sold.
Yes, it got sold, because you have to remember, they moved the Avengers Tower
only
into
somebody who's got a hell of a lot of paper is going to be buying it. I don't know who owns the Baxter Building.
No.
I don't think that Reed Richards owns it. He just rents out a space or something. They just live there.
I don't know. Like, they could again, because this is the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they can do whatever change they need to do.
But how sick is it just visually
to see a 4?
For sure.
To see the Oscorp.
To see Oscorp, because if you see the Avengers Tower has been turned into something everyone knows is evil.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I kind of hope it's that.
It's one or the other. I'm good.
I hope we get Fantastic Four either way. But I hope that.
Yeah, if it was the 4, I was just like, oh no, this is amazing. Like, this is. That means we're gonna get Galactus. That means a really cool Silver Surfer.
Galactus.
Dude, could you imagine if Ragnarok we actually see a surfboard?
Oh, stop it.
Because they don't even have to say anything. If we see a silver surfboard somewhere in there, and they can just go, "Hey, guess what? We acquired. We didn't tell anybody. We got them."
If we see a surfboard, I feel like we're gonna see Fantastic Four at some point.
Oh, absolutely. It's only inevitable. I want that. I want this so bad. Because at this point, I'm like, what is the next step? These are the next steps.
How do you
expand on this already gigantic universe? Just keep building this world. Like, you don't have to. Yeah, I don't know.
I like that I can reach behind this thing. Is that cool?
You can see my fingers through this.
My prints are so small.
Oh yeah, that's bizarre. It's like Are we this gigantic? Are we like Galactus size, or are we like really just large in front of a small table?
Who knows?
But yeah, Spider-Man was really well enjoyed.
It was fucking fantastic, and I hope to see it another time.
It was spectacular.
What did you think of Aunt Bay?
Aunt Bay is dope, dude.
Yeah,
I love her.
Marissa Tell, Aunt May.
I as a kid, she always used to be like super attractive and stuff. And
is it weird now that we can watch her make out with Whiplash?
Who's Whiplash?
Mickey Rourke.
Why?
The wrestler.
Why is that weird?
Because it's Aunt May making out with an Iron Man villain.
But why would you do that?
Because they were both in The Wrestler making out.
Oh, were they? Okay. Because she was in a movie with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, a hell of a long time ago. Which is why everybody was like, look at them talking together.
Yeah, because that's what actors do, right? Actors act in movies together.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's cool. I like her as Aunt May. The ending, the way the movie ended was great.
That was great, yeah.
It's a nice use of the, without having to say, but knowing what she's going to say. Also, Cap in the end was still the greatest.
Yeah, his scene was pretty good. The
Chris Evans is Cap.
The animated outro actually reminded me a lot of Deadpool.
Yeah,
because they did the animated outro, like the scratchy.
Yeah, at this point, whatever. This, if like that was Ferris Bueller, this is Ferris Bueller.
It's very well.
That's why, you know. So it's unavoidable.
Yeah.
And it's fine. Like I get what they were doing, and it makes more sense here than it does with Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a teenager going through those things, kind of like all those films back in the 80s days.
Mm-hmm.
Deadpool was just like, I'll just do whatever Deadpool does.
I loved it, man.
Deadpool was excellent. This
when
was excellent.
When we talked about what we wanted out of a Spider-Man movie, we got John Hughes.
Just those little things.
We got Ultimate Peter.
Just the ladies. Just fix the and you know what though?
Just those ladies.
We can actually be once we see the second one and third one, we can be like, you know what? They may not be the characters that they're presenting, but I like them still.
I already like them,
but I like them.
It just seemed unnecessary.
Right. It's a miss
to fuck with the names.
Right. You didn't have to, but now that you have, and okay, now that they have, if it's presented even awesomely in the second one, then I'm okay. It's just a little bizarre.
Again, it didn't ruin anything for me. That's why I gave it a 9.2.
That's why I gave it.
I thought it was fantastic. Just
first day Blu-ray.
Those names, it was fine. Oh yeah, easily. I want to see the behind the scenes. Also, the one thing with the suit that bothered me is just why always like a CG version of it. Like we only see the actual suit on him in a couple scenes where he's got the like half mask on.
But you know what's great though? That suit looks amazing.
It does, but I'm like, why not show that suit? It's fine if we see neck wrinkles. It's still Spider-Man to me if he's got neck wrinkles.
If anything, that's more Spider-Man.
Yeah, go look at Amazing 2. They've handled that shit amazing. They made his suit look like he's wearing a suit, and they made the CGI version of him look like it's wearing a fucking suit. It's still got the wrinkles.
Noticing like watching the film the second time, there are some scenes that look better. So I'm assuming that other animation houses handled. Like, because obviously they have to spread the CG out through different animations.
For sure, but I think if
some scenes look better,
if the built-in model has the suit wrinkles and stuff in it, it's gonna infinitely look more like someone wearing a costume.
Because his homemade suit looked phenomenal,
and you know a lot of that shit was CG, but it still looked good because it was allowed to have fabric and wrinkles. Yeah.
I felt it looked better. Like when he was blowing in the wind, the creases
because there's something to react to.
Because I believe that it was wearing it.
The Marty suit, you can still have wrinkles in it and it still fit to you. It doesn't have to be like.
It's mainly just where the folds are.
Yeah.
Like if you see an arm crease
here and here,
you can show an arm crease.
Now a couple times they would show him like move, and you'd see like the stretching of it. But it's so rare because they CGI'd over the top of it. You don't need to do that. It's fine. We're not gonna like it less if you can see neck wrinkles.
I think we probably would like them more.
Exactly. It's totally cool.
Because it's like, oh, that's right. Peter's underneath that suit.
What did you think of his reveal of the Iron Spider suit?
Neat.
Even though this suit was kind of like a hybrid of regular suit.
It was cool. I see what they were going with. To be honest, I'm more of a fan of his actual suit.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice that we got to see essentially 3 suits in this film, though.
Yeah, we saw his
homemade,
the upgraded classic, and then the
so bloody cool,
Iron
man.
Spider.
Bloody cool.
The Iron Spider one,
it's fine. I think there was too many like little pieces separating things, and like the Iron Spidey suit is so very guess it's very streamlined.
Right.
It's just red and
with gold,
the gold. Here it's like we got the blue, we got the red, we got these little gold little trims, we got these little electronic things. And again, like I think you might have brought up the Wasp suit when it was kind of being partially made. It almost resembled that somewhat with the little pattern type deal.
That's kind of the problem, quote unquote, with having like basically one guy designing everything, because then you kind of, it looks like they all go to the same tailor.
But in a sense, in this film, you kind of are.
You kind of are. I mean, if it makes sense if you're like Stark is designing it, so it's what Stark's design sense.
I mean, I do like that Ant-Man's new suit doesn't look like designed by Stark.
For sure. Although his updated one definitely closer to a Stark tech.
It is closer, but it's
the original.
Right, the original is still the best
because it was completely its own thing. You don't see Stark using like leather and shit, but his suit in the second one was a lot more close to like a Avengers tech.
But it's still very much itself. Like I think that's why I like Black Panther's suit.
Yeah,
it don't look nothing like Stark tech.
It's closer to, but it does if you think about it like Spider-Man's too, because it's very like, if you have all the technology, then this is what you're.
To be honest, I'm actually surprised the Black Panther suit doesn't look even more super high tech.
Right. I mean, they did a lot of thing with having like shit weaved in it,
and I think that's what their
like
high tech
subtle
is.
stuff. I wonder if we'll see how he puts it on. If it's like, because we've seen him take the thing off, but in the comics, that shit like comes apart in sections. Like, I want to see if they do something like that.
I think some people were bringing stuff up. I mean, this is unrelated to Spider-Man. It's related to Black Panther, but the suit where it showed him flipping over the car is a different suit. It's
I did notice when he's running, his like eye holes are way bigger.
He has like, also, you know how his suit looks like the necklace. Like they say, the new suit looks actually closer to the comic than the one that appeared in. Yeah, it looks like, no, it doesn't have the tiny cape, but it looks more. It looks more streamlined. It doesn't look like it's got all these little parts. Like it's more hidden almost. I don't know.
Maybe.
But it's also the Spider-Man suit. I like the wings.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that it's neat that they included that, even though it's not like always there.
Which I'm more fine with, because I've never been a fan of the web wings.
I like this new suit. I think it's nice.
I think the new suit is cool. The eyes worked pretty well. They emoted with them a lot more than I thought they might, because in Civil War we got like some opening and stuff, but in this one he's like fully emoting, like winking at people and shit. Yeah.
Or when his buddy was wearing it.
And even when Ned had it on, I saw that the eyes were still
they were doing that, but they were shaped to his face, and it's great. I don't get the suit somehow a little bit, that
it sucked to his head.
It sucked. That's all. I was like, when he first popped the suit on, popped the mask on, you could see it was like folds and everything, and then he did that, but then when
it doesn't
matter.
So
it's a movie.
It's a Back to the Future
right, and it's good.
That's all.
Because essentially it was in an alleyway. He threw his bag there. Everything.
It's exactly what it was.
It's good. It's good. It's really good. They just, there's little name things. I'm just like, oh man, come on, man, so close. He was so close with the names. Yeah. You could have been there. The Betty Brant, because no one said her name, it could have been Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, just have her name up there on the screen.
Honestly, Michelle's name wasn't even brought up many times. No one actually said Michelle really loudly until I only noticed it very near the end almost. When someone goes, "Oh, Michelle, Michelle," you know, it's like, I just said MJ. Could have been another thing, Mary Jane, whatever. Right. I don't care. Or if she's Mary Jane, just MJ. I don't know. That was weird. Yeah. Like that's why I was like, when we first watched it, I was like, it reminded me of the whole, oh, that's a nice name, Robin.
Right.
I'm like, you don't need that.
Yeah.
You really don't need that.
Because it feels like such an afterthought.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it felt like, because it especially was like left at the very end, people might think, oh, it's a nice little, Easter egg, how to leave it in the end. I'm like, nah. You know what would have been cool if you said it outright in the start. We were like, what?
Yeah.
What? No way. But, the film was aces. I loved it.
Yeah.
And I want the Blu-ray. And I want a sequel now.
That's
my problem. I want a sequel now.
I want to see where he goes next now. It's almost a shame that he's part of the Marvel Universe, only because it means we have to wait.
Right. Essentially how I felt with Bloody Guardians 2. I'm like, when are we going to get this next one? It's like, oh wait, they appear in the Avengers first. But it's like 4 years later. How different are they going to be?
Yeah, but it means we do get to see him next May in the Avengers.
That's true. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And they said he'll be in it about as much as he was in Civil War.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it,
we're gonna see everybody.
There's too many characters.
They gotta. We have a lot of territory.
And you know, people are gonna complain. It's like we didn't get enough of We didn't get enough of Black Widow. We didn't get enough of Gamora. We didn't get enough of every other bloody.
Dude, the way
bloodies.
Feige talked about it, he said that you know how in the other movies where they will give you these big moments where you're seeing Black Panther interacting with Hawkeye, and you're seeing Cap talking to Spider-Man, and you're like, oh my god, it's so crazy. He said the Infinity War movie is that from start to finish.
I can't do it. I'm dead. I'm gonna go inside dead already.
Yeah, it sounds.
As soon as I sit down, I'm like, I don't know what's gonna happen. In the end, I'm gonna be like, what just happened?
Yeah, I can't wait, dude. We're gonna see so many interactions with characters we've never gotten to see.
Rocket with anybody.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Rocket talk to Stark. That's gonna be.
We're gonna get Strange and Stark.
That's gonna be great.
That's
too.
awesome.
But I feel like him reacting to a sentient raccoon is gonna be fantastic. Yeah.
Or just an alien.
Yeah.
I mean, we got Thor, who's an alien, mind.
I wonder if he'll just automatically be terrified of all the aliens.
Who?
Stark, because he's already had the PTSD with the Chitauri.
But the Chitauri look bizarre. That's the difference. Like with these aliens that we've got in the Guardians, they're a little bit more humanoid.
For sure, but
you know, like Drax is just a giant grey dude.
But maybe that's scary.
I suppose.
He's got knives and tattoos all over him.
And he's like bulletproof.
Is he bulletproof?
I don't know. He's like super strong.
He is super strong.
Because like, we have to, like, with the Guardians films, we're forgetting these guys are aliens fighting other aliens. Brought to Earth, they might be like super.
Well, we saw Gamora holding up the.
That's what I'm saying. Like Gamora will take on any human at this point, no problem. Like
she's supposed to be the most dangerous woman in the world or galaxy.
In the galaxy. That's why it's like, oh, we got Black Widow. It's like Gamora is the daughter of Thanos, the guy that you're about to fight. Pretty sure she can take on all of you guys.
I mean, I can't wait for Black Panther 2. This shit's gonna be so
that looks good.
I don't know if they're gonna give Claw like a real claw weapon.
If they gave Shocker that fucking thing, which was essentially like what's it, crossbones?
They said it was.
Oh, even better.
It was modified crossbones.
Sweet, and it looked cooler though.
Yeah.
The guy who knew how to, they used it better.
Yeah.
Even though it was
Tom,
only one.
Tom Hardy 2.
Yeah, Tom 2, and you've got
and Bokeem Woodbine. I just think of him as the crunch guy from Big Hit.
Oh, that's where he's from. Yeah, he's
always crunching that thing.
He was in a Chris Farley movie.
Was he? Which one?
When they were searching, he was with Matthew.
The Frontier ones. What was that called?
I forget. I had on DVD.
Something Heroes.
Almost Heroes.
Almost
Thank
Heroes.
you. I love that movie.
Yeah. That movie.
But he was in that.
Was the thing. So anyway, love Spider-Man. Now I gave it a 9.2. I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
I give it a
bump
9.
it up. I'm gonna give it a.
But yeah, like as a Spidey film, it's my favorite Spidey film.
Easy.
It has just those darndest issues.
Here you go. This, for people who are gonna be like, oh, but who's the best Spider-Man out of all the Spider-Mans? Tom Holland Spider-Man is the best Spider-Man.
Who's the best Mary Jane? We've only had one real Mary Jane. Even though
so far Shailene Woodley is the best Mary Jane.
She wasn't even in that movie.
Sony's got to stop doing it that way, man.
Just
stop filming everything and then putting the movie together after.
There's no point. You should just buddy. If you got an idea, you stick with it.
That's great. That's great picture. I'm so glad that's the thing. Anyway, so I liked it a lot.
Peter Parker,
it's the best one.
You got no beef with Aunt May. I like Aunt May.
No beef with Aunt May. No beef with the villains. I think that Vulture is my favorite MCU villain. Period. I've never been big on Loki, and everybody says he's the best. So if he's the best, I like Vulture better than him. Vulture's the best MCU villain, in my opinion. Until we see Thanos do some shit.
He might be the best.
He's supposed to be biggest and baddest. Although I did like Ultron as well. I think Ultron and Vulture I hold pretty close together.
Ultron is excellent.
I loved Ultron.
I like that movie.
I loved Vulture as well. Yes, I also really liked Age of Ultron. People shit on that movie, but it's real good. Go back and watch it. That Hulkbuster fight, tell me you didn't fucking cream jeans.
Also, people hate on bloody Captain America 1.
Yeah, I don't get that shit.
That makes no sense.
I don't get that shit either. But anyway, Spider-Man was dope. I recommend it. We're going to go see it a third time. You should go see it a second or third time. If you haven't gone to see it the first time, but you better have seen it the first time, because this is a spoiler review, motherfucker. If you got to this point, you shouldn't have. But anyway, also, we didn't mention it till now, but you might have heard a new theme song. You might have seen a new graphic. that's the situation.
Welcome.
Welcome to the new.
Welcome to season 2.
Yeah, to Chip Chap 2.0. Is this 2.0 or did we have another iteration?
I don't.
We had another theme song.
We did.
So maybe this is Chip Chap
3.0.
3.0.
Yeah, we
Season 3.
We change every now, like every 40+ episodes we change.
The music was done by a friend of mine from high school, who I thought his music sounded great, so I wanted him to do a theme song for us that sounded like an old 80s cartoon show.
We got that.
Hopefully you guys liked it as much as I did. I fucking love it.
We're gonna upload it as a separate thing with
We're
lyrics.
gonna upload a lyric video for
When it's
any
fully
that you
done.
might not have understand. Rock music, it's a little hard to follow along to sometimes. But hopefully you liked it. Hopefully you liked the new logo.
And then again when we end it.
Till the next one, guys, and I guess we'll play it one more time on the way out. But until the next one, guys, stay chipper chaps.
Stay chipper.
Hashtag Burger Sunday.
Yeah, you have to hashtag that now.
Do you have to hashtag
You have to. It's part.
Do you have to?
So let's